Gujarat is doing well, and I just want to share a few slides with you to set the context of what prompted this particular conference and what is the theme of the conference. Technology and development is a vast subject. At the same time, we are able to attract lots and lots of investments. And the fact is that the kind of achievement that we have received and the kind of interest level that we have achieved in attracting investment is actually comparable to the best of states in China during their heydays. There's a huge growing interest from international and domestic businesses virtually. Vibrant Gujarat, but the last 6 months prior to Vibrant Gujarat, every week there is a foreign delegation, even though they were coming subsequently later again. The 5-year growth period, as you all know, is now 11.2% target for the next 5 years. And we have announced major infrastructure projects like the PCPIR SEZ, the DMIC corridor, the special investment regions, the special economic zones where Gujarat is the leader in India, the power projects, the GIFT project, the JNU-RM urban projects, the BRTS road network that is already operational in Ahmedabad and is going to be replicated in Surat, the metro rail, the river development project, and it is endless. And also simultaneously, our reforms have won recognition worldwide. Our attempts at reducing the infant mortality rate, IMR, mother mortality rate, MMR, the power sector reforms, and the GSDMA are noteworthy examples where Gujarat has done absolute kudos from the rest of the world. Next. Gujarat also is a very competitive cost. When we went for our Vibrant Gujarat missions this time, this one slide alone did all the talking for us. If the world's cheapest car has decided to come to Gujarat, then certainly it must be the cheapest place for manufacturing. And it was such a powerful branding and such a powerful message. And I'm sure, Rajiv, when you had gone to Singapore and those Vibrant Gujarat, we all of us felt that, people recognized Gujarat, and knew its strengths. Next. Now, this is for the first time since 2007. Data has been released in 2009. Gujarat has officially overtaken Maharashtra in the cumulative industrial investment value. Up to now, we were trailing behind Maharashtra in the cumulative value, even though our annual values were more. But now, cumulatively, we have overtaken Maharashtra, first time in the history of Gujarat, right since its formation in 1960. Next. And gradually, friends, you have seen that from 83 product clusters, we went to industrial clusters. Then we started developing the 60 SEZs. And now the stage 4 that we are developing is huge mega projects. The kind of size that is going to transform Gujarat fundamentally in the kind of area, the kind of influence. Next. If you see the PCPIR, this alone is going to contribute such a huge amount of investment exactly on the lines that we have in Houston in Texas and in Germany and in Belgium. The same kind of concept on the same scale is being replicated here. Next. We also have the Delhi-Mumbai corridor, which is actually having an influence of almost 100 kilometers on both sides of this high-speed corridor, which will allow high-speed points along this corridor to develop manufacturing facilities that can help to transport goods globally into for exports and globally from the world back into here. Next. But there is also a time to reflect, and this is the theme of the conference. Gujarat is excelled in this area. And therefore, the model that we have had is to promote economic development through industrialization, create world-class infrastructure, invite investments, remove tax holidays and concessions and create world-class facilities, increase the tax pool because a lot of people do have investments, and then use the money that we have for social development and agricultural support. Friends, agricultural support has also been a very big successful story in Gujarat, unlike the rest of India, where we have grown at a substantial rate of over 10% over the last 3 to 5 years in agriculture, which is unmatched in the history of the country. Often the missing link in all this dialogue is the lack of adequate involvement of people in sharing the fruits of development. Shows, relatively speaking, Gujarat is continuing on a path of jobless growth. It also has income disparities that have increased. The environmental burden is actually being shared by the people of the state, and resources like land and tax money utilizations are basically being used for expensive infrastructure to develop the industrial sector. But often now, the issue of land and resources has started surfacing again. And I think it's an important point in time to sit and reflect the kind of issues that we are likely to face if we don't address these concerns as we grow faster. Next. These are the issues that we have. We have a volatility of growth in Gujarat. We are low on value addition. We are high on investment, but we are low on value addition. The third area is we are not innovating. Our patent filing profile of Gujarat is not comparable to all our neighboring states and some of the southern states. And when you compare India with respect to the rest of the world, we have been clubbed under the title of others. If you look at environmental concerns and employment concerns, these are the negative side effects that have taken place. And the plea that I have is that today, as we sit down and reflect, let's chart for ourselves a goal, a path, which is slightly different from what we have been doing, so that some of these unintended side effects can also be taken care of as we invite more and more investments. Next. If you see the growth pattern, you can see almost every other alternate year, the growth of the agricultural sector goes up and down. Consequently, the dark blue line of the GDP growth also goes up and down. This is what is called volatility in growth. It is primarily because we have a water crisis. Next. If you look at the value added as a percentage of the output has gone up significantly to 300, 400,000 crores, and our value addition remains between 50 to 60,000 crores. And therefore the point here is that while Reliance, for example, or IPCL produce the polymers, we do not use the polymers to make plastic toys or lots of plastic products downstream to be able to do the value addition. And this is a challenge for us. Next. In the factory sector, if you look at the employment, the number of employees in 1990 with a turnover of 30,000 crores of the industrial output, the number of people employed was 8.3 lakhs. In 2008, this number has gone from 8 lakhs to 10 lakhs, whereas the output has gone from 30,000 crores to 446,000 crores. That is Gujarat today. It's a huge investment in the investment side. But jobs continue to remain because the proportional increase in jobs is not taking place with the kind of development that we are having. Next. Similarly, on value addition, compared to the other states, Gujarat has to improve. Next. And consequently, even though Gujarat has the highest investment in the country, the value added tax, because of our value addition is low, is also number 4 in the country behind other states. So we need to complete the value chain. We produce cotton, we produce fabrics, but we do not produce clothes in Gujarat. For clothes, the cloth goes either to the south or to the north. Similarly in plastics. So in every area, we are raw material producers. And when you analyze the entire database of the state, we find that Gujarat is by and large a B2B state. Most of our products goes as input for other industries, not to the consumer. And this is the gap that has informed the discussions that we want to have today. Next. Innovation. Next. This is the profile of Gujarat. We are number 5 in the country, trailing behind the 4 other states that are doing much better than us: Maharashtra, Delhi, Tamil Nadu, and West Bengal. Next. On environment, we need to be far more sensitive than what we have been in the past. If you look at the north, we have an issue of desertification encroachment. From the south, we have the salinity ingress. From the Golden Corridor has issues of industrial pollution. On the eastern side, we have deforestation and loss of land in that local area. And in the north, we have groundwater issues. Each one of this has seized the attention of the government, and we are making significant progress in each of these areas. But when it comes to addressing or inviting more investments, we need to be far more sensitive in how we do it in the future. Next. Gujarat's carbon footprint is the first time we have attempted to do it. It is 1.8 tons per capita. India is at 1.2 tons per capita. So we are at 1.5 times the level of carbon consumption as compared to the rest of India. But if you compare it to China, which is 3.84, which is 3 times that of India, we have a long way to go in terms of what we can do. However, the 2 solutions that I want to offer here is, if you look at the bottom, there are 2 states or 2 places in the world where growth has taken place between 6 to 8% per year for more than 20-30 years, and their actual energy consumption has reduced by 2 to 3% every year. It is the mix of economic development that decides the dependence of GDP to the energy requirements. So it is not that for growth you actually require energy. There are outstanding examples that have actually handled the global warming and other issues in a different way altogether, which is what the discussion is all about today. A different approach to technology and a different approach to development. Next. If you look at Korea, Korea has 5 crore Koreans like we have 5 crore Gujaratis. And if you look at the right hand side, their per capita income is $1,000 in India and theirs is $17,000. And the beauty is, the area of both the states, Korea is half the size of Gujarat. and this was during our trip to Korea, during the Vibrant Gujarat that we had this discussion. Korea's GDP is almost equal to that of India. It has a population like us, it has a land area half of our size. How did they do it? And this is what prompted us in our discussions in Korea to find out, is there another way of development? And this is how they did it. Next. They did it by focusing on just 4 areas. Electronics, automobiles, telecommunication, shipbuilding, produced world-class and developed exports, and a lot of dependence on technology and innovation. Next. What I want to drive here, friends, is the bottom right-hand side figure of output produced in manufacturing in Korean industry in SMEs is 4 times the output of entire industrial output of Gujarat. I'll repeat this for emphasis. The SME sector of Korea, the output of the SME sector of Korea is 4 times the entire industrial production of Gujarat, which includes all the Reliances and the IPCLs and the SRs and all of us all put together. So even the small scale industry, if you have a different approach to development, there are different ways that people have developed. Next. And therefore, the context is set. Today we have with us Dr. Farooq Mistry, who is going to now take the lead and take us through, along with Dr. Sami Haroon, an international expert who is going to be on video conferencing facility from the US, to discuss and deliberate how in the 21st century can we look at this issue of economic leadership without compromising any of the other issues that we have highlighted, which is not only true for India, but it is true for the rest of the world as well. Thereafterwards, we would have Dr. Rafiq Dosani, who is from Stanford University, to share his perspective of educational challenges in India in transformation. And then we have Sri Manohar Parrikar, former CM of Goa and now leader of the opposition of Goa, who is going to speak on a very interesting topic: politics, technology, and values. And I think it is at the heart of development in many sense to have an IITian who has reached this zenith and is able to look at the issue from both sides of the table. None of us IITians are in politics. We always go to the politicians to ask. Here is a man who is both a technocrat and a politician, and we are really keen to know, Manohar, the kind of insights you have. The rest of the program we will go through later. Next.